Right, and looks like we are now live. So welcome to Genessis Model second live session. We had our first live session yesterday. Sorry, we kind of lost connection because we did actually have the internet installed yesterday, so it was a bit up and down. Fingers crossed, we are good today. Also today, I'm sort of doing the whole Hangout thingy. It's all sort of still up in the air, experimenting, playing around. So I know, sorry if any sort of quality issues are going on, sound, video, whatever. But this is a Hangout, so I do believe you can actually join in, get your own webcams out, show us what you're working, and we can sort of maybe go down that route. But we'll see how things go. Now, if you remember yesterday, we were working on the Vickers Wellington, absolute cracking kit there. I have got this videoed up as a inbox review. If you want to check that out, probably next week I'll have that one up. But we are building through it. So let's whack the camera around and we'll sort of get building with this. All right, sorry for playing cameraman, but here we go. Feel free to maybe ask any questions you've got, and I'll do my best to answer them just like we did yesterday. But while I'm sort of waiting for that, I'm just going to kind of crack on with our Wellington just here. So where did we get to yesterday? Yesterday we had this nicely glued in, and we tried to sort of like use elastic bands and everything to actually try and get rid of the gaps, but there is still a bit of a gap just in there. I don't know how well you can sort of see that, but there is a little bit of a gap just in there. Really good product I love to use for these kind of things. Is always plastic, Vallejo plastic putty. What I like about it is it's just the applicator. We can just so easily get it right in where we need it. We give it a little bit of a squeeze, right, and just run it all the way along that join line like so. And then before it actually does any drying, we get out some simple cotton wool buds, right? Get out this one, and then all we got to do is just wipe across there like so, and bam, you're basically done and dusted. Maybe just a little bit of a tidy up, right? But there you go. I mean, that there was just nicely, sorted out that little bit of a gap issue. Haven't quite got it. There's a little bit either side of where I did wipe that up. All right, so maybe try and get that in there. All right, and then there was a bit this side. And there we go. I mean, that is just almost perfect. Spray over that, and that should be absolutely fine. But we do have to, now and then, let's get out a cocktail stick maybe. Where's my cocktail sticks gone? Right. So what sometimes happens is it does go into a bit of a recess panel line area. I'm just kind of like scraping that out while it's still sort of wet, so then at least our washes at the ends can sort of get in there. Right, I'm just going to check any chat that might be going on, if there is any. Feel free to, in the chat, ask any questions, and I'll try and answer them like I did yesterday. Which I do remember there was one yesterday. Someone asked about primers and stuff, and we lost connection half the way through. And what I did was we've got our zero here, and half of it was like prime black, half of it was left a plain just bare plastic on there. And the whole point was to sort of show that having your different color primers and not having primers, we do get like a richer sort of color, a much more realistic natural metal finish when we've got a black primer underneath, compared to if we've just got just plain plastic and we just spray some silver on top of there. So it is better, and it looks a bit more richer and more realistic by getting like black primers. But it's not just that. I mean, it helps the paint stick. They are specially formulated to sort of have all your paints stick better to the plastic, and then for all your paints to stick better after your primer. It's stuff like polyurethane and all that kind of cool stuff. So let's just check that this is all nicely sanded all around first before I start gluing this one in. Right, as we was doing yesterday, nice fine sanding stick, spongy, so we've got that curvature to go with our leading edges of our wing section. Right, and apart from that, it's looking pretty good. Now it does slot onto here quite nice. Alright, but I want to make sure it's all good, so let's get out the elastic bands and let's kind of whack this on. So I want to get this on nice and tight, so we squeeze in. Let's go opposites, shall we? I'm going to make it nice and tight so we can actually squeeze the gaps together, and then when we get the glue out, it should make a nice joint. Right, but we do have to watch out for these Bombay doors, because they are quite easily just bended out of shape. Is that going to reach? Just about. There we go. That should lock that end in quite nicely. I just want to watch that. There we go. And then we'll do the same this side as well. Give it a twist. Go over. Oh, I've just felt that door go then. I might end up gluing these on some point throughout this build, because they are just so easily broken off, I think. Although I haven't broken one yet, but it's getting close. So if you ever do this kit, be careful. So that's looking not too bad. So good old Tamiya extra thin cement. Alright, and we can just run that along, so as the two pieces of plastic will basically sort of melt, come together, and hopefully any light gaps that were there, because the two pieces of plastic will melt, they'll hopefully sort of close that up. But as you've already seen, I mean, it is, that Vallejo plastic putty is pretty easy to apply and get rid of any of these kind of gaps around here. So it's not a massive deal, but getting rid of the gaps as much as possible always makes life easier. And actually that one seems to have fit better than this side, because it does look like we're not going to have any gaps whatsoever. Yeah, that one is looking pretty good. So leave that to dry for a bit. Get out some instructions. Oh, very nice, very nice. Let's see where we are now. If he wasn't here yesterday, I mean, there is so much detail inside this model, absolutely loads of it. If you wanted to do like a cutout or anything, you could really sort of go to town. It's so much detail. I mean, for what we're doing here, there's so much of it that's just not necessary. It's just absolute tons. moving along. Right then, we got some ailerons and stuff, so let's start cutting all this out. Let's see. I don't know if anyone of you wants an invite. Come and join the old hangout, maybe. As you say, I've literally just kind of like started this hangout, and I'm not sure how everything actually works. So you might have to bear with me, because yesterday it was just a normal camera, whereas today, I don't know, I just went into the hangout. So yeah, I'm kind of learning as I go, but we'll get there. So I'm just popping these off. Actually, it's not even the right one. Put that in the box for later. It's these ones over here. There we go. Simple, nice cutting it off the sprue, leaving a bit of a tab so we don't cut right into the piece that we're going to be using. Just saves us damaging our piece. Again, just a little blade here, and we can just get rid of the tabs. There we go. I think someone just knocked my door. It was very quiet if it was. I'll have to knock again, I think. Oh, here we go. One sec. Go make yourself a cup of tea. There you go, I'm back. As you can see, that was live. And yeah, very strange. Someone put the boiler on, so all the heaters were on, which is just absolutely ridiculous in this weather. But there you go, it's been turned off now. All right, so back to this piece, nice and easy, cutting out the tabs. There we go. Now, I'm not sure if this chat's working, but no one's actually commented yet. So just to see if it's working, anybody just make a comment. Because he was very, very chatful yesterday. I don't think it's working. Okay, maybe I should have just gone back to... Should have probably gone to the normal camera. I'll tell you what, let's go back to what we know, what we're doing. I'm going to shut down the Google Hangout, go back to the other version where you can do all the commenting and stuff, because it is, well, not quite working. So I'm just going to cut it here.